All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Monday Night Football and what should be an awesome game. Super Bowl rematch. We have the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. I do have a spread pick in this game and then 3 player props that I am really liking as well. We'll get to all that, but first, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. If you're excited for this game, smash that like button because I sure as hell am. As of right now, the Chiefs sitting at 2.5-point favorites at home. Total sitting at 45.5. Like I said, I have a spread pick on this game. Didn't really get into the total, but we'll talk about both sides of the ball and everything like that, and we'll get to our 3 locked-in player props as well. Kansas City 7-2 on the season. Against the spread, they're 6-3. They're 3-1 at home, but they've only hit 2 overs out of their 9 games here. Philadelphia, on the other hand, 8-1 on the year, 5-2-1 against the spread. Good road team, 4-1, and then against in terms of over-unders here, 5 overs, 4 unders. From a DVOA ranking perspective, Kansas City sitting in that number 3 spot at 6 in the offensive rank and 3 in the defensive rank. Philadelphia top 10 here at 9 with 7th from an offensive rank DVOA perspective and then 19th on the defensive side of the ball. But their defense does excel when it comes to the run. You're going to be hard pressed to find a better run defense than Philadelphia's as of right now. It's just the pass defense in terms of that secondary and whatnot that we do need to worry about from them. But Kansas City, this defense kind of is the flip. They have a great pass defense, great pass rush. Their rush defense is where they lack. So we should have a pretty damn good game on our hands. We're going to get into all of that, guys. Before we do, I want to talk to you about the Fade Me store. We have a massive sale. Call it our Black Friday, Cyber Monday, holiday sale, whatever you want to call it. But tees are now up to 40% off. The bulk of them being $19.99 as of right now, which is right around 30% off. And then we have another deal as well. This will all be in the pinned comment. But if you buy a hoodie, you get a hat 50% off when you use code BFHOOD, BFHOOD. I'll put that in the pinned comment. We've never done a sale like this. Everything is hard marked when it comes to the t-shirts and everything like that, so you don't have to put in a code. But for the hoodie and hat deal, make sure to use code BFHOOD. If you want to support the channel, no better time to do so than now because these are really good price points for some really good quality merch. I'm rocking the Fade Me Santa hoodie right now. You can see the back. That's what the back looks like. It's Santa drinking a beer, holding the money bag. Who would have thunk it, right? But let's go ahead and jump into this game. We'll start with my spread pick. So I'm looking at Kansas City at home here minus the 2.5 points. If this was outside of the field goal range, so minus 3.5, maybe there'd be more to consider here, but I do think that this is such a legit defense on the Kansas City side of things, and there are weaknesses on the Philadelphia side, and if Kansas City can kind of pick apart that secondary, I don't see a world in which they lose this game by, or you know, even win this game by less than 3 points. I think that they have so many creative ways that they can beat you. And obviously, like I said, Philadelphia is going to try and stop the run. But what are they going to do with Travis Kelce? Like, this isn't a good secondary and certainly not a good secondary against tight ends either. So I just think Patrick Mahomes and the offensive cast there, some wide receivers coming along, everything like that. I do think that this is going to be a team in which they can pick them apart. Now, I'm not saying that Kansas City goes out there and routes Philadelphia. Like, this is such a legit Philadelphia team as well, right? You have 2 of the best teams in the league. Like, this very well could be the Super Bowl preview as much as it is a Super Bowl rematch. But I'm just going to take Kansas City at home under the lights, trusting Patrick Mahomes under a field goal here. You know, the best quarterback in the world for the last couple of years, and you're only laying 2.5 points. I don't really care who you're playing. But all that said, I will say I'm not really against anyone taking Philadelphia. This is obviously, and if someone's getting mad at someone for taking Kansas City or vice versa, this is obviously a game where you can make a case for either side. I just like I said, I just like Patrick Mahomes under the light with the ability to pass on a team that, if there's one weakness they have, is their pass defense. Now, obviously, pass rush and whatnot, that is fairly legit, but they're an internal pass rushing team just as much as they are kind of coming from the edge. And this Chiefs offensive line actually has been pretty good. So even that mitigates itself to some degree. So yes, give me the Chiefs here minus the 2.5 points. Let's go ahead and get into some of our player props, guys. If you have not checked out Sleeper, though, you need to do so. Let me talk to you about a free square that they have as of right now as we speak about player props. Patrick Mahomes Will he throw for 1 yard? Well, I think they're going to win, so I hope that Patrick Mahomes has something to do with that. 0.5 yards is what Sleeper is knocking his passing yards line down to for first-time depositors. So if you haven't checked out Sleeper yet, make sure to go do so. You can use the link in the pinned comment. You get 100% of your first deposit match. You want to throw in 25 bucks? Sleeper's going to give you 25 more. You'll have a new account balance of 50. You want to throw in 50 bucks? They'll give you 50. You'll have a new account balance of 100. You get the deal here. Go ahead and check out Sleeper. You get that deposit match, and you get this Patrick Mahomes promo square, 0.5 passing yards. Go check out Sleeper. I bring that up because we're about to dive into some player props here. And the first one that we're looking at, I know I talked about the Chiefs winning, but I like Jalen Hurts here over 8.5 rushing attempts. Now, I'm not going to lie. Part of this is the fact that he's obviously going to get the tush push and a couple of those during the game. So you might as well set this line to like 5.5 from that perspective in terms of what he's actually going to run. But you can see Super Bowl, he had 15 rushing attempts in his last 10. He's hit this in 8 of those games, and he's hit it in 7 of 9 games on the entire year here. And this is a Chiefs team that just ranks like middle of the pack, I guess, when it comes to quarterback rushing attempts against. But what I really like is if we turn it down here, you could see that the Chiefs tied for 2nd in sacks, tied for 3rd in QB hits, 7th in QB hurries. This is going to be a team that gets after Jalen Hurts regardless of the offensive line, right? They're going to make their way to Jalen Hurts, and he's going to have to be rushed and not necessarily hurried or like in terms of a passing perspective, but he's going to have to step up in the pocket. And I can picture him, with his receivers running way downfield. He's going to have some open space to be able to run. And again, we're not looking for yards. We're just looking for 8.5 attempts here, -112 over on FanDuel. The only book that you can compare to right now is going to be Caesars at -123. And I do like this spot here too. It is kind of crazy when you look at his rushing share. He's rushing the ball 30% of the time for the team. And again, you're going to get a couple of those tush push on 4th and 1, 3rd and 1. So this line realistically, and it's 8.5, this isn't genuine scrambles. Like if this was a genuine scramble line, you're probably looking at more or less a line of like 5.5, 4.5. If we want to look at what he's been doing, rushing attempts, rushing yards per attempt, see it's 3.5. So you don't really have that sort of yardage gain for him at 36.5. And even his longest rush, like he could have a bunch of rushes, but you can see he's not been hitting that this year because he does the little QB sneak over the middle. So rushing attempts is the line that I landed on. I think it's because he's going to get rushed. Guys, if you do want to check out this tool, I also have a link for this in the pinned comment. It's called Outlier, my favorite player prop research tool out there. 7 days free. Talk about a deal. Go try it for 7 days. We're flipping to the other team here for my second player prop, and this one's going to be Trent McDuffie over 4.5 tackles plus assists for -120 over on DraftKings. You could see this season he's done it in 7 of 9 games, and he crushed it last game against Miami. When he plays against good offenses, I do think you start to see this guy come out. He is the slot corner, so he's not going to be tasked with, or for the most part, not going to be tasked with AJ Brown or Devontae Smith, right? He is going to be playing slot corner. If you look at where he's been playing, 72% of his snaps here have been at the slot corner position, which means he's going to get Zacchaeus, at least by FTN's predictions here, which isn't necessarily the biggest of receiving threat pressures, right? Like he'll travel downfield and whatnot, but that isn't where the Kansas City defense is focused on that receiver. So I think McDuffie's going to have a lot of tackle chances here in the middle, whether it's, the Eagles running the ball or throwing to the slot receiver over the middle. I think that he's going to have plenty of chances in a game in which should be fairly fast-paced, and you're only looking, again, for 5+ tackles plus assists. He's playing nearly every snap as well. Last week, he played 100% of the defensive snaps. The week before, 94. I think he's averaging somewhere right around 96% of snaps per season, so I like his chance here. You can also see, using Outlier, that Philadelphia allowing the 3rd most tackles against and the 5th most assists against. So give me Trent McDuffie. Yes, it's a little weird, but you guys can admit we've been pretty, if you're new, you don't know this, but we've been pretty damn spot on with our tackles plus assists props this season. And then we have one last player prop. These are all final plays, by the way. We're looking at Travis Kelce over 0.5 touchdowns. I hate that it's minus money here at -110, but you can see there's little value on DraftKings compared to FanDuel. This guy is absolutely due. 2 weeks in a row in which he does not score a touchdown. And you can see here, tight ends per game, touchdowns, Philadelphia, good team, right? 5th most touchdowns per game to the tight end position this season. So Travis Kelce just knock one in. I almost looked at his second half touchdowns because he's, the odds are just really great at plus 210. If this is a close game, Mahomes is going to find him late in the game, but, just stuck with just the touchdowns overall. So again, to recap, I like the Chiefs minus 2.5. We have Jalen Hurts over 8.5 rushing attempts, minus 112 odds over on FanDuel. We have Trent McDuffie over 4.5 tackles plus assists. That's minus 120 on DraftKings. And then we have Travis Kelce anytime touchdown score, minus 110. We might even throw out a same game parlay. Let me know in the comments if you do, or if you are interested in seeing a same game parlay. We'll post it as a YouTube short, and then we'll link it in the pinned comment. But definitely going to be an exciting game. Very, very excited for it. So yeah, let me know if you guys want to see that same game parlay in the comments. We almost cashed the Thursday night one if Mark Andrews didn't get hurt. But other than that, we cashed all of our other picks. But yeah, guys, that's what I have for you. Let me know what you're rolling with in the comments. It should be a good game. Again, we're all just sports betting here, right? Like me taking the Chiefs, I can already picture people in the comments being like, oh no, the Eagles are so much. Dude, these are two of the best teams in the league. It's fair to take either side here. Like, that is the truth. You know what I mean? So nonetheless, guys, let me know what you guys are rolling with in the comments, and we'll catch you guys in the next one, right? Peace out.